want a prayer, a weather prayer.
Weather prayer, sir?
Yes, let's see if you can't get God working with us in this thing.
It'll take a pretty thick rug for that kind of praying.
I don't care if it takes a flying carpet.
And for you snow lovers out there, your prayers may finally be answered as we track the first major storm system of 2024 next weekend. I'll have a detailed look coming your way next. Hello everybody and welcome back to the Weather Nerds YouTube page. I'm meteorologist Greg Majeski, and before we get started, we'd like to always thank all our new subscribers, and we've added almost 700 of you. Welcome on board, and if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please consider just hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, that way you're alerted on future content, and to give me a comment or give me a thumbs up down below just really helps with trying to grow this channel. So, hey, we got a lot to talk about. Let's talk about what you need to know for this edition. What we're going to be tracking is the first major storm system 2024 into next weekend. So we're going to do a breakdown analysis between the American GFS model and the European model, because for you snow lovers who've been wanting snow, that track is a little bit different, so it could impact if you see snow in your backyard. We're also going to talk about a severe component to this. We could see severe weather potentially across the deep south with this potential storm system coming in going into next weekend. And then finally, we're going to just kind of tease on it. We're going to look at round 2 that could be following up just a few days later. So, with all that put together, let's go ahead and take a look at those latest computer models. Now, before I take a look at that upcoming weekend system, I do want to focus in here on the areas of the southeast where we're looking at a weaker system that could bring a surprise little snow event across the areas of northern Alabama and north Georgia. So let's go ahead and zoom in here a little bit again as I'm watching this surface low here down near Louisiana that's going to be tracking right along the Gulf Coast, and we may have just enough cold air in here across north Alabama and Georgia to cause some problems. But I do think it's going to stay mostly on the grassy areas, as I think the air temperatures are going to stay just above freezing here. But let's go ahead and step you through this. You'll see what I'm expecting, at least what the North American model, the short-range models here showing as we go through the day on Wednesday. So you're looking at it starting to erupt here by later in the afternoon by about 4 o'clock. And then by the time we get to about 7 o'clock Eastern time, you're looking at the snows here across northern Alabama, north Georgia. And that'll quickly come to an end as the low tracks along the Gulf Coast here. This goes to about 10 o'clock, and then after midnight, we're starting to clear this on out, and things should improve there as you head into Thursday. Now, as far as the overall snow amounts with this particular system here, as we go ahead and switch over to the total snow possibility here, I'll take this all the way out, and you can see a little bullseye of some snow. Again, we're looking at maybe 3-4 inches. The highest I can see in here is 5 and 6. That's going to be very isolated, I think. But I think 2 to 4 inch rain, probably the highest right up in here with this little patch, with this little system moving across the southeast, heading into late in the day on your Wednesday. So let's go ahead and zoom back out here again, and we'll take a look at the European model, and we're going to see how this next storm system is going to evolve as it comes into that following weekend. So let me go ahead and get out of the way here as we focused on snow event number 1. Let's go to the one again here later in the week. Let me switch over to that. I don't want to be on that one. Let's go over to the precipitation outlook as we look at the storm system here, and we kind of track this thing going into this upcoming weekend. So that's that initial storm system. Here's the one that we're going to be watching going into late in the day on Friday. So as you see late in the day on Friday, you got this area of low pressure right along the Gulf Coast here, and we're going to watch this kind of track off toward the east, and we'll have to watch closely with this one. The European is the stronger of the two systems there. As it gets over here, you see the line of showers and storms through here. There could be a severe component with this, maybe some isolated tornadoes. There's a lot of strong dynamics in wind shear with changing wind heights. And watch the northern periphery of this going into Kentucky, going into areas up toward West Virginia as this storm system gets cranking up here. And a lot of the areas from the mid-Atlantic stretching up into New England on the European model are bringing some pretty decent heavy snows in here, even kind of an icing there heading into the coastal cities. But the snows inundate all of New England, going through New York, Vermont, going up into Maine, where the system as this low gets cranking at 985, and then it kind of moves off the East Coast as we head into the day on your Monday. Now, with that being said, that's the European model. The GFS model has a little bit different solution with this. So let's go ahead and switch over to the GFS here for comparison's sake, and we'll bring it out here again to the Friday position here on Friday. morning or late in the afternoon there. And it's a little bit different. It's weaker. We're seeing the rains here along the Gulf Coast, but no organized low pressure just yet with this system. And as I track forward here in time, you see the low there along the Gulf Coast. I think a little bit later in this, maybe we get severe weather potentially heading down toward the Florida Peninsula, say down in this area with this system. But it keeps the snows from not going up toward the north into, say, New England. It does hit the mid-Atlantic. You're seeing the snows here across areas of Kentucky. You're seeing the snows heading out to near Maryland, through portions of Virginia here. But the low does not track in New England. In fact, the high pressure kind of stops it to the north, and it kind of goes off the east coast here. It does not spread snows across areas of New York and Maine as we go into Sunday and into Monday morning. So we have differences of opinions here on the GFS and American model. So the track of the storm will be significant because that'll decide whether you're going to see snow in your neighborhood or not over that period because of the winter precipitation that may or may not hit your area, all depending on that exact track. So let's look at the snow totals. Let's look at the GFS first, since that was the last model I was looking at. I'm going to go ahead and take this all the way out to the end of the 7-day here, and you can see we're not getting the snows in areas of New England, as the European model is showing. It's staying predominantly here across the mid-Atlantic and across the Appalachians. So sitting right up and through here with this initial storm system right in through here. So we'll go ahead and zoom in here. You can see it kind of there across areas of Virginia and West Virginia. And let's switch over to the northeast here. And you see the lack of it across areas of Maine stretching down here through Pennsylvania. So that is the GFS model. But look at the difference here as I switch over to the European model. I'm going to take this all the way out to day 7 again, and a significant difference here. I mean, you're seeing some pretty decent snows here across areas of New England, stretching back through Ohio and a big area of Pennsylvania. I mean, a bigger swath getting impacted with this winter storm. So you need to keep it tuned here. I'll keep you updated on the snow potential here as we go through this upcoming weekend as we get a little bit closer to it. Now, as far as the total rainfall totals here with this system, let's look at the European first. We'll look at the total rain potential here. Again, with it being stronger and more active along the Gulf Coast, you notice we got heavier rains in here. Let me go ahead and zoom back out here again so you can see the whole country. You notice here across the southeast, we've got some pretty heavy rains here across Louisiana, back across Alabama and Georgia, and obviously heading across a lot of areas of New England. However, if I switch over to the GFS model, as a comparison, as far as the rain totals are concerned, we're not getting as much there on day 7. I'm going to stop it there. I'm not really going to all the way out to the model run. Heavier rains here along the Gulf Coast showing up, but in New England, yeah, you're missing out because the snow's not coming up your way because the low on this model is kicking it on out to sea. So, a lot to talk about here with these 3 systems with this coming in. So what I'm going to do now is I want to go ahead and shift gears and look at the severe component, looking at the jet stream, especially on the European model, and let's talk about the severe weather threat here across areas of the Gulf Coast and into the Florida Peninsula. So we're going to be looking at the European, the 300 millibar level here as far as the jet stream, as we're going to be watching this next storm system going into late in the day on Friday, going into Saturday. So you notice we've got the trough in here and kind of moving it like this. So the air is kind of separating a little bit in here. If we get any kind of line of showers and thunderstorms to track across the southeast. The dynamics on this one are fairly strong. The one behind it could be potentially stronger, but we're going to just focus in on this one for this upcoming weekend as this kind of shifts into gear here as we go into Saturday morning. If we get a line of storms through here, would not shock me in the least to say at least a severe thunderstorm warning with that jet energy. You got some very strong winds aloft or a potential tornado watch across this area, especially across South Georgia, South Alabama, the Florida Peninsula, and Panhandle areas right through here as we go through the day on Saturday. This quickly does move on out of here. Look at the tremendous jet energy back behind this. So that'll be the severe potential as we go into this upcoming weekend. I will take this out to the next system because this one's even more dynamic as we go ahead and advance this one into Tuesday position. And once again, you're seeing a negative tilt in the trough right through here. You see the jet stream kind of moving like this. You're getting this spread in the air. So you get wind shear, tremendous amount of changing winds with height as this goes through the day on Tuesday. And so there could be another round of severe weather for the southeast, and this looks very strong in here as we go into later in the day on Tuesday afternoon. So you've got two potential rounds of severe weather with these next two storm systems as we go into this weekend and into early next week. So let's go ahead and shift over here. What I want to do now is I want to go ahead and take you to the European model. Let's go take a look at the second storm system going into early next week, going into the Tuesday period, as we're looking at the potential for some more active weather and snows with that. So I'm going to take this all the way out, moving that first system out of the way. We're going to look at the second system. So look at what's happening here. So this system here, as we're going into Tuesday, this is Monday night to Tuesday, you notice we're getting the snows here across the back periphery of this thing, and a tremendous amount of thunderstorm activity here breaking out ahead of the system as we go into Tuesday. So let me go zoom out of here again. Look at the system getting fired up in here. So the snows with this next system will be further to the west. So you're looking at areas of Missouri, Illinois, and Michigan. So they're getting in on this act with this next storm system. But also we're looking at the potential for active severe weather as this storm system cracks through Alabama and Georgia through here on the day on Tuesday. So we could be looking at some active severe weather there with this system on Tuesday as this moves on up. And look at the snows kind of spreading, and this really intensifies down to a 976 millibar low. Maybe even some blizzard conditions across areas of Michigan as we go through the day heading from Tuesday into Wednesday. And this moves up into Canada and spreading the snows across New England with the second system. Let's look at the GFS model for comparison. I'm not going into the real specifics on the second storm system because it is so far off, but I am something that I do want to watch as we go through time. So again, the GFS model and the European model with the second storm system are fairly in agreement here, as we're seeing, again, showers and thunderstorms here. You're getting the snows on the back side of this, maybe a little bit further to the west on the GFS model compared to the European model. But look at the storms here. This is on heading into Tuesday, heading toward the noon hour. You're seeing a pretty strong squall line there through Alabama and Georgia. And here's the low back here with the snows through Oklahoma, stretching through areas of Kansas. And you're seeing the snows on the periphery northern edge of this as this storm system progresses forward and spreading the storms through areas of the southeast, and then the snow spreading across New England and across the Midwest. So a little more dynamics with this next system heading into Tuesday. So two systems to watch, actually three. You got the one, obviously, we're watching for the southeast, a little surprise, little snow event there for the middle of this coming week. And then we got the weekend storm and the one behind that on Tuesday. Right now, we're going to be focusing most of our energy on this upcoming weekend storm to see how things evolve. All right, that's an update on all your model data. Let's go ahead and wrap things up. So your snow lovers out there, you're going to keep your prayers answered. We're going to get some snow that's going to fall across a lot of areas of the United States. There's still some questions exactly on when and where because of the changing of the paths of these storms. They will change as you get closer to it. I think we're pretty much settled on the one that's only a couple days away across the southeast. But the weekend storm and the one behind it will change a little bit. So I'll continue to do updates here as we get closer to it. And I do plan on doing some live updates for the storms for this weekend that I'll do throughout the day, and for the one that'll come in on your Tuesday. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I'm doing these updates, and go ahead and leave a comment and give me a thumbs up. It helps as we continue to grow this channel. We're over 2,000. It's awesome, and I look forward to serving you guys in 2024. That's your update for now. You guys take it easy. We'll see you on the next update. Till then, be good out there.